Alrighty, welcome back 7th graders. Make sure that you have already watched part 1 before you are moving on to part 2 here, okay? When I left you off, you should have been working on solving these two problems, and then you're coming back once you have your answers, okay? So I'm going to go through each one and explain out the answers. So the first one, again, you need to define the area of your bases, so the triangles. So your formula for triangles is 1/2 the base times the height. In this case, I took the base as the 12 and my height as 5. Doesn't matter, you could have put 5 as your base and 12 as your height, okay? Remember then that I need, when I multiply this out, I get 12 times 5, which is 60. Take half of it, which is 30. But then I ultimately need another 30 because I have two triangle bases. This one is a triangle as well as this part up here. Okay? I got 3 different sides then that I need to add up. So one of my sides is a 5 times 3. That's going to be this one over here, which gives me 15. Sorry, it's really hard to read. This 12 times 3, that's this side back here. Okay, that gives me 36. And then I have this front side, which is 13 times 3. Okay, take all these values together, the 30 plus 30 plus 15 plus 36 plus 39. Now I'll double check my math here in case I made a mistake. But you get 150 meters. I know it's kind of hard to read. So 150 meters. And remember that your meters then need to be square. This is the part that I continued to forget to put when I was originally making this. Okay. For problem number 4, kind of the same layout, same thing. You're going to look for your triangles. So my triangle, I had my base as 3, my height as 4. Your height is not 5. Your height has to be a straight vertical or horizontal line. So I get an answer of 6 because 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2 is 6, but I want to go back and multiply it, so I'm getting this 12 because I have 2 different triangles. Okay, so that's for both my triangles. My other sides then is I have 4 times 4 because this square right here is 4 times 4 because it is a square. 4 times 5, which is this one that's kind of slanted here. And then this 4 times 3, which is this bottom one. Okay. Find all those answers, add them up together, and I get an answer of 60 centimeters. Make sure to add those units squared. Okay. Let me know if you've got questions. Let me know if I made any mistakes. I've been trying to be a little more cautious this time and double checking and making sure my answers are correct. You know, even teachers make mistakes, and it's just kind of the way math is. Lots of steps to math, and so it's really easy to make mistakes if you're not being careful and taking your time. All right, let's keep going. All right, so this next problem then, we're going to look at a prism that's a little bit different. This prism it's considered a prism, but it's also a cube, okay? So we could use that formula that we were given for rectangular prisms where it was 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the length times the height plus 2 times the width times the height. Ooh, but that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work just saying it. So there's actually a better formula to use when you're given cubes, okay? I highly suggest you write this in your notes because I forgot to add it to your notes. And what it is that when all the edges of a rectangular prism have the same length, S, the rectangular prism is considered to be a cube. The formula for the surface area of a cube is as follows, okay? It is the surface area equals 6 times the sides squared, okay? Because when you find the area of a square, you're taking the sides and you're squaring it. You're taking the side times the side. So that's where this S squared is coming from. The 6 is coming from because it says a cube has 6 congruent square faces. There's 6 faces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 faces on this cube as we go through, and that's why we're multiplying it by 6. Okay, let's move. I'm going to move myself over here. So if I'm going to solve out this one, I'm going to plug it in my formula. So I'm going to plug in the side measurement. Now, they're all the same because if it's a cube, they're going to have the same side measurement. So all I'm going to plug in is 12 for this equation. Okay, so now I'm going to have equals 6 times 12 squared. Remember, when we're doing this, you need to take your squares first. Use your order of operations. So 12 squared gives me 144, and when I multiply it by 6, it looks that I get 864. Okay, so then my surface area of the cube is 864 square meters, or you could write it out like this: 864 meters squared. Okay. They just add this part. I didn't realize this. It just says the lateral surface area of a prism is the sum of the areas of the lateral faces. Okay, so, I mean, it is just going to be the area around it. Okay, so it's not going to be the top and the bottom. It's just those square parts that are around it. And that part's going to be important for the next problem that we actually do here. Okay, is I only want kind of this side. So in the case of like this prism, I don't want the bases. I only want this side, this side, this side, and this side. Those are my lateral. That's going to be my lateral surface area, is adding those together. Okay. Let's keep going. All right. So example 4 here, when I told you we're going to need that lateral surface area. So the outside of a purple traps are coated with glue to catch emerald ash borers. You can make your own trap in the shape of a rectangular prism with an open top and bottom. What is the surface area that you need to coat with glue? So like I was saying, there's going to be an open top and open bottom, or where it's going to make me not have the bases of this shape. Okay. I'm only going to look at the lateral surface areas. So this side, this side, this side, and this side. Okay. If you've heard about the emerald ash borer, it's something that, it's this little borer, okay, this little insect, and it happens to be pretty prevalent around here. It's not good, though. It is not a good insect because it ends up killing off trees. So sometimes you'll see signs on trees during the summer that say that it's infected with emerald ash borer, or to be cautious, not to take things from the tree because you can be spreading then the insects to another tree. So what they like to do is try and catch them in these little traps, right? So what I need to do is I'm going to use part of the formula we originally had, okay? I'm only going to take this 2 times the length times the height, okay? Your length in this case is this one, and your height. And then I'm only going to take the 2 times the width times the height, because I don't include the areas of the bases in the formula. Your bases are always going to be that 2 times, what was it, length times width. Okay, those are the base part of this shape, and I don't want to use those. So I'm only going to use this part of the formula. So then I'm going to plug in what I know, okay? Well, I know the length is 12, my height is 20, my width is 10, and my height is 20. Multiply these together first before you add them together. So 2 times 12 times 20 gives me 480. My 2 times 10 times 20 gives me 400. Add those together, I would get 880. They had a little picture in the book of the emerald ash borer. Sorry, I kind of cut him off. You only get this part of him. Okay. So what you're going to need to know is that you're going to cover it with 880 square inches, okay? Or you can write it as inches squared. That's the part that you're going to cover it with glue to hopefully trap these little guys and make them not eat the trees. Okay. So let's keep going. Again, let me know if you've got questions. Pause this video if you need to. Alright, so this one isn't on your own. We are not going to worry about the part 6. I just want you to do problem number 5, which is deciding based on these 2 prisms, which prism has the greater surface area, okay? One of them is a cube, as you can see, and one of them is that rectangular prism. If you don't remember those formulas, go back and look within these videos or look at the notes that you should have been given. Google it if you need to. I'm not going to always write down the formulas, okay? So go ahead and pause this video. I want you to solve the surface area for this one. You got to solve the surface area for this one, and then decide which one has a greater surface area. Okay, welcome back. So you should have found the surface area for both of these. I'm going to kind of show you answers to mine. I think it doesn't want to slide this way for some reason. Alright, so for the cube and the prism here, so the cube first, I use that formula of surface area equals 6 times the side squared. My side is 9, so I'm taking 9 squared first, which is 81, multiplied by 6, and I get 486 centimeters squared. Gotta keep forgetting those. Okay. My prism, you're using that formula of 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the length times the height plus 2 times the width times the height. So plugging in what is your length, what is your width, what's your height, okay? Plug those into your formula. You should get an answer of 430 centimeters squared. So your answer then is which of the prisms is greater. I'm going to say that your cube is greater. This one is greater because 486 is greater than 430. Okay. All right, let's keep going. That should have been the last on your own and the last part of an example. So getting to the homework part, again, if you have your workbook right now, you can be, as for right now, I think we haven't been getting things from school. So if you have your workbook, you can use them as extra practice pages. But right now I'm not requiring your workbook as of now. This may change, I may update it, okay? But your homework then is going to be this 14.1, okay, on big ideas in math. If you are watching this video ahead of time, this lesson is not until week 4. So this is not going to be uploaded on Big Ideas Math until April 13th. So you will not see this until April 13th. If you are going ahead again, I will tell you Big Ideas will not be open until April 13th. So with that being said, this assignment then will be due on the 19th, okay? So make sure that you are turning this in. That is that Sunday. So Big Ideas will always be due Sunday as of right now. You get a whole week to get these done. I'm not closing it 2 days later, okay? So get this one done, okay? Also check out the next lesson because this week you should be doing 14.3. All right, so go ahead. This is what you were doing today. Tomorrow we will be working on this Big Ideas math assignment. All right, catch you in the next lesson. Have a good day. See you later. Bye.